Greetings and welcome once again to my channel. This channel will aim at helping you succeed in your promotion exams. So this is the second episode on public service rules. So second episode on public service rules, revised public service rule. So before we dive into that, quickly hit the subscribe button. Hit the subscribe button because that is the only way you can get notified whenever the subsequent videos on this project is released. Hit the subscribe button so you get informed, so you don't miss anyone, because we shall be taking this public service to the end. So right now we are looking at appointment. We are looking at the last video was on general definitions. So if you have gone through that, and if you subscribe on that, easily you can be notified on this. But if you have not, you may not be able to get this. So endeavor to click the subscribe button so you don't miss anyone as the promotion exam is approaching. So we quickly dive into the authority for appointment. This is as contained in the revised public service rules, which took effect in the year 2023. So appointments to offices in the federal service are made on the authority of the Federal Civil Service Commission. These appointments are made either by 1. Written letter under the direction of the Federal Civil Service Commission, or by formal agreement between the officer and the federal government or its appointed agents, subject to the rules. Then permanent secretaries / heads of extraministerial offices are authorized to appoint eligible candidates to posts in respect of which the powers of appointment have been delegated to them. Then appointment by the Federal Civil Service Commission. The Federal Civil Service Commission shall make appointments to posts graded 07 to 17. Such appointments shall be made as the need arises into the available vacancies after advertisement. An advertisement shall be made in 3 national newspapers and the Commission's website. So the advertisement shall be at the Commission's website, that is Civil Service Commission website, and also 3 national newspapers. So the deadline for submission of applications from interested candidates shall be 6 weeks. 6 weeks from the date of placement of the advertisement. Then second condition, subject to modalities to be prescribed by the Federal Civil Service Commission from time to time. Each ministry or extraministerial office shall select from the pool of successful candidates at the civil service examination prescribed in the rule. So this shall be handled by the appropriate committee of each ministry with the representatives of the Federal Civil Service Commission and head of the civil service of the Federation at the meeting of the committees. Entry examination for posts graded 07 to 10 for new entrants and serving officers wishing to transfer from other scheduled service. This examination shall be conducted by the Federal Civil Service Commission in conjunction with the office of the head of the Civil Service of the Federation, Administrative Staff College of Nigeria, that is ASCON, and Public Service Institute of Nigeria. So the exam shall be conducted by the Federal Civil Service Commission in conjunction with the Office of the Head of Civil Service of the Federation, the Administrative Staff College of Nigeria, and the Public Service Institute of Nigeria. So, then to qualify for this examination, candidates must possess the qualifications in relevant disciplines as provided for the approved scheme of service. Final recommendation shall be made by the line of ministry or extraministerial offices in line with the requirements. Then appointment into post GL6 and below. So each ministry or extraministerial office shall appoint junior staff on grade level 06 and below. This shall be handled by the junior staff committee of each ministry office. Appointment in the federal ministries through extraministerial offices located in the states or zones shall be from the residents of those states or zones who possess the qualifications prescribed in the approved scheme of service. Each ministry / extraministerial office shall work out the actual establishment for each state office as contained in the approved establishment of MDAs obtained from the Office of the Head of the Civil Service of the Federation. The Junior Staff Committee local shall conduct the interview to appoint the officers, subject to approval of the permanent secretary or head of extraministerial offices. Then the incremental date. The incremental date of an officer appointed or promoted to a post in the federal public service shall be 1st January of every year, provided such officer has spent at least 6 months on the grade with good performance before enjoying the increment. Then seniority. How is seniority determined in the service? Seniority in any department shall be determined by the entry date or the date of assumption of duty certified by an authorized officer and or date of present appointment as reflected in the appropriate register and career progression of the officer. So that is how you determine seniority. So date of assumption of duty, then date of last appointment and career progression. Then we have unpaid staff prohibited. So the employment of unpaid staff is prohibited. Then personal records. Secretaries, the permanent secretaries / head of extraministerial offices shall keep an up-to-date record of every officer under his control. Staff records form Gen 60 shall be used and 1 copy must be sent to the National Records Center in the Office of the Head of the Civil Service of the Federation. So these are where the records must be sent. So the Office of the Civil Service of the Federation, then Office of the Accountant General of the Federation, then 1 copy also to Office of Auditor General for the Federation, and another copy to National Pension Commission within 1 month of the appointment. So within 1 month of one's appointment, this document shall get to the respective places. So from Gen 60 shall be completed in ink, and date of birth recorded on appointment by an officer shall not be changed throughout the career of the officer. Any contravention shall be regarded as an act of serious misconduct. Then we have recruitment. definition of recruitment. Recruitment means the filling in of vacancies by direct appointment of persons not already in any of the public service of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So it's filling in of vacancies by persons not in any public service of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So it, however, excludes the transfer of officers from one public service in the Federation to the Federal Public Service. So recruitment does not apply to those already in public service seeking for transfer. So it's for newly appointed, those that have not been in any public service before. Then appointment to the Federal Public Service may be in any of the following categories. So these are the categories for appointment, the types of appointment. So we have the trainee or pupils. We have on probation in a pensionable post. Then we also have non-pensionable contract. We also have acting appointment and as well special appointment. So the types of appointment, you have trainee appointment, trainee or pupils appointment, then appointment on probation in a pensionable post, then appointment on non-pensionable contract, also acting appointment and special appointment. The ministry stroke extraministerial offices shall accept appointments made by Federal Civil Service Commission to the National Youth Service Corps Presidential Merit Award winner, whose employment is automatic regardless of vacancy constraints. So the Presidential Merit Award is automatic, whether there is vacancy or not. It has nothing to do with vacancy. So then 5% of all recruitments in the service shall be reserved for persons with disability. 5% shall be reserved for people with disability. Then where posts prove difficult to fill from within the service, they shall normally be advertised. Then filling of post within the service. So where a candidate for employment requires additional professional so this is for trainee stroke people appointment. Trainee stroke people appointment. Candidate for employment requires additional professional experience before he can be regarded as fully qualified for appointment to a specific post. The candidate may be as a trainee or pupil for a normal service of 2 years in the post. So the period may, however, be reduced in special circumstances. On completion of the trainee period, the pupil may be appointed to the full grade on probation and will not be eligible for confirmation in the service until he has fulfilled the conditions laid down in the civil service rule where applicable. Then a confirmed officer who is advanced to the training grade for the purpose of acquiring the necessary experience to qualify him for substantive promotion to a senior post will be treated as if he had been seconded thereto, and the period of such secondment will not normally exceed the period laid down for the training, especially with the special advice of the office of the head of the civil service of the Federation. Probation. Except where the Federal Civil Service Commission decides otherwise. Except where the Federal Civil Service Commission decides otherwise. all first appointments to pensionable establishment in post other than trainee post will be on probation. An officer confirmed in a lower pensionable post will not, however, be regarded as on probation in a higher post to whom he is converted to. Then eligibility for appointment. So eligibility for appointment, this is very important. To be eligible for appointment into the Federal Civil Service, every applicant must, so for you to be eligible, these are the conditions, must not be less than 18 years and not more than 50 years of age. Then you must possess such minimum qualification as may be specified in the schemes of service, including computer proficiency or computer literacy. He must be satisfied by an authorized healthcare provider as medically fit for public service. Also, he must possess a testimonial of good conduct from last employer or, if not previously employed, from the last school or college attended. So he must also possess the requisite qualifications as provided for in the schemes of service. And no officer shall be appointed into the federal public service without authorized establishment and recruitment waiver from the office of the head of the civil service of the federation. Now we have prior approval in certain cases. So we have some certain cases that need prior approval. So these are the cases. Then no candidate shall be appointed to any post in the federal public service without the prior specific approval of the Federal Civil Service Commission or board or council in the case of parastatals. Now these are the people that require that. So if one, the candidate has been convicted of a criminal offense, or two, he has previously been employed in public service and dismissed or called upon to resign or retire thereof. Such approval must always be obtained irrespective of any delegation of the Commission's powers. So if someone has been convicted before or was dismissed or called upon to retire for public interest, he must obtain prior approval before going to another appointment. Then B, in view of above, every applicant for employment by government must state. So in view of knowing the officer well, so if the person has been convicted or been employed and dismissed, so every officer for appointment must state, one, whether he has been convicted of a criminal offense, also state all employment he has engaged in. He will also state if he has left any employment and why he did so, or if he is still in any employment and whether he is under any obligation to remain in it, and then whether he is free from financial embarrassment. So all this must be stated before an officer will be employed. Then procedure for appointment. Procedure for appointment. All applicants for senior posts shall complete Federal Civil Service Commission application form FC2 to be submitted to the Federal Civil Service Commission. The Commission shall process these forms and publish shortlisted names for examination prescribed in the rule, public service rule. Then for appointment to pensionable establishment, form number Gen 60 shall accompany the copy of form number Gen 69C sent to the office of the head of the civil service of the Federation office. Then then Office of the Accountant General of the Federation, then Office of the Auditor General for the Federation, and the National Pension Commission. So those ones we mentioned before, where the records will be sent to. So then personal particulars. Immediately a newly appointed officer assumes duty, he shall be required to enter the pension particulars on Form Gen 60. Then staff records form, that is staff records form. Then a copy of which shall be attached to the appropriate documents and forwarded to the Pension Fund Administration and National Pension Commission or National Pension Commission and other relevant offices and departments. Then we have oath of secrecy. Oath of secrecy. So it is the duty of every permanent secretary or head of extraministerial office to ensure that all newly employed officers or staff in the ministry and extraministerial offices sign an oath of secrecy on Security Form 1, and that the oaths so signed are carefully preserved. This is without prejudice to the provisions of the Freedom of Information Act. Then prohibition of membership of secret society. No public officer shall be a member of any secret society. Any public officer who, before his appointment, is a member of such society shall renounce his membership forthwith by making a statutory declaration to that effect. The contravention of that, the contravention of the denouncement of court. So contravention to that, to renouncement of membership of a secret society, then it shall be considered as an act of serious misconduct and shall attract appropriate disciplinary action, which may include dismissal from the service. So if you are a member of a secret society and you do not denounce it, it's an act of serious misconduct and it can lead to your dismissal. So that takes us to period of probation. Appointment on probation. Officers on probation will be required to serve for 2 years before being confirmed in the service. This period may, however, be reduced to not less than 6 months by deduction of any previous periods of public service rendered satisfactory in post of cognitive status involving similar duties. The period of probation shall not exceed 2 years unless an extension is approved by the Federal Civil Service Commission. Such extension may result in the incremental penalty referred to in the rule of the public service rule, if the commission decides. Then compulsory examination. Within his probation period, an officer is required to pass the prescribed examination appropriate to his appointment. For officers holding a senior post, the prescribed examinations are those described in the civil service, and such other examination as may be specified in individual offer of appointment. For clerical grade officers, the prescribed examination is the promotion confirmation examination. Then the examination for technical grades are those prescribed in the schemes of service applicable to the particular post. Then confirmation or termination at the end of probation period. To be eligible for confirmation in permanent establishment, an officer appointed on probation is required to pass the prescribed examination, if any. Then during his probationary period and to complete his probationary period to the satisfactory of the authority empowered to appoint him. At the end of the period of probation, the officer will, unless his probationary appointment is terminated or extended, be confirmed in his appointment. Then recommendations of officers holding senior post. The confirmation of recommendations of permanent secretaries or heads of extraministerial offices regarding the confirmation of all officers holding senior posts shall be made in the progress report prescribed in the public service rule. The membership of junior staff committee and senior staff committee. Membership of junior staff committee JSE and senior staff committee in parastatals, senior staff committee in parastatals and junior staff committee, then shall include the representative of the Department of Human Resource Management of the supervising ministry, observer from office of the service of the civil service of the federation. So for junior staff committee and senior staff committee in parastatals, there must be a representative of the Human Resource Management Committee, represented from the Human Resource Management, and also from head of service of the federation. Then compro examination. Newly recruited officer who has spent 6 months and above shall be allowed to sit for compulsory examinations for confirmation in the service. This provision is without prejudice. Then transfer within the federal public service. Transfer within the federal public service. Then transfer from one senior post to another or from one class to another within the federal public service. Transfer from one senior post to another or from one class to another within the federal public service requires the prior approval of the Federal Civil Service Commission or appropriate body of relevant agency. That an officer must have served for a minimum period of 6 months in his original post before seeking transfer to another post. So officers seeking for transfer within the federal public service must have served at least 6 months. So these are part of the conditions for transfer within the service. So he must have served for 6 months in his original post before seeking transfer to another post. Then an application for such transfer must be submitted to the permanent secretary or head of the extraministerial office or agency of the applicant and must state the applicant's reason for desiring a transfer. So you must spend 6 months at least, then state the reason for desiring a transfer and his qualifications for the work to be undertaken. So are you also qualified for the work you are seeking for? So such application should be forwarded to the Federal Civil Service Commission by the permanent secretary or head of extraministerial office, together with a statement as to 1. How applicant has performed his duties. So testament to good record. Then whether the applicant is considered to be well qualified for the post desired. So, and also recommendations as to the grant or refusal of the application. So The applicant must have statement of good records from his original post, and he must also the requisite qualification for the post he is desiring to transfer to. He must also have spent 6 months in the original post, and also state reason why he desired to leave the current post to another. Then we have short-term appointment. Short-term appointment. What is short-term appointment? Now, there may be circumstances in which specialized skills or new or emerging skills which may or may not have been prescribed in the schemes of service are required in the public service. In order to fill the observed gaps and or to show up the capacities of existing officers, appointments may be made for a prescribed period of time in the following categories. So these appointments are made for a specified period of time. So then the categories of such appointments include contract appointment, sabbatical appointment, career exchange program, talent source strategy, internship, and volunteerism in the federal service. Then we shall stop here on this appointment. In the next episode, we round up the appointment, whereby we'll look at each of the short-term appointments. So in the next episode, we'll be looking at each of the short-term appointments. So quickly, let's go through the quiz for today. Please, if you have not clicked the subscribe button, quickly click on it so that you can easily get the next episode as it's coming. So quiz time. Please, in the quiz time, kindly for each question, drop down your answer at the comment section. For each question, put down your answer at the comment section. So number 1, the authority for appointments to offices in the Federal Civil Service is vested on A, Head of Service, B, Chief Executive, C, Federal Civil Service Commission, D, Heads of Ministries / Ministerial Departments. Drop your answer at the comment section. Then question 2, appointments are made by A, formal agreement between the officer and the federal government or its representative subject to governing rules. B, by verbal directive of the Federal Civil Service Commission. Then C, by a written letter under the directive of the Federal Civil Service Commission. And then D, options A and C only. Drop your answer at the comment section so you can always evaluate yourself. Now let's look at the solution. So we have A now. So D is A and C, then E, C, and B only. So drop your answer at the comment section before we now see the answer. Now this is the answer for question 1. The answer is C. That is Federal Civil Service Commission has the authority for appointment to offices in the Federal Civil Service. Then for question 2, the answer is D. D, that is A and C only. So appointments are made by A, formal agreement between the officer and the federal government or its representative subject to governing rules, while C is by a written letter under the directive of the Federal Civil Service Commission. So move on to question 3. Advertisement for appointment to the post graded 7 to 17 shall be on A, 3 national dailies only, B, 3 national dailies and national radio broadcasts only, C, Federal Civil Service Commission website only, D, national radio broadcast and Federal Civil Service Commission website, and E, 3 national dailies and Federal Civil Service website only. Please drop your answer at the comment section. The question 4, the annual competitive public service examination for post graded 7 to 10, please, that is GL 7 to 10 for new entrants and serving officers wishing to transfer from one scheduled service shall be conducted by A. The Federal Civil Service Commission in conjunction with Office of the Head of Service of the Federation. B. Public Service Institute of Nigeria and Administrative Staff College of Nigeria. B. Federal Civil Service Commission in conjunction with Office of the Head of the Civil Service of the Federation. Then Public Service Institute of Nigeria. Then Administrative Staff College of Nigeria and National Publication Commission. C. Federal Civil Service Commission in conjunction with Office of the Head of the Civil Service of the Federation, National Broadcasting Commission of Nigeria and Administrative Staff College of Nigeria. D. Federal Civil Service Commission in conjunction with Office of the Head of Civil Service of the Federation and Public Service Institute of Nigeria. So the answer for question 3, the answer is E. 3 national dailies and Federal Civil Service Commission's website only. For question 4, the answer is A. The Federal Civil Service Commission in conjunction with Office of the Head of Civil Service of the Federation, Public Service Institute of Nigeria and Administrative Staff College of Nigeria. Question number 5. Appointment to the post graded dash has been delegated to ministries through extraministerial departments and to be handled by dash. A. 6 and below to be handled by the heads of department of the respective ministries or office. B. 6 to be handled by the junior staff committee of the respective ministry or office. C. 6 and below to be handled by the junior staff committee of the respective offices or ministry. Then D. 6 and below to be handled by the junior staff committee of the respective ministry or office. Then D. 4 to 6 and below to be handled by committee of the respective ministry or office. Then question 6. Which committee is responsible for the conduct of interview to appoint officers at the states on the grade level 06 and below? So which committee is responsible for that? A. Is it the junior staff committee headquarters or junior staff committee local, junior staff committee, then senior staff committee or management committee? Drop your answer at the comment section. Question 7. Seniority in the civil service is determined by A. Date of birth of the officer. B. Date on the first appointment letter. C. Date of present appointment. D. Date of assumption on duty and career progression. Drop your answer. Then E, C, and D only. So the answer to question 5 is C. 6 and below to be handled by the junior staff committee of the respective ministry stroke office. So while the answer to question 6 is B, which is junior staff committee local, and the answer to question 7 is E, that is C and D only. C is date of present appointment, then D is date of assumption on duty and career progression. Then question 8. Permanent secretary keeps an up-to-date record of every officer under his control. A copy of staff record from Gen 60 shall be used for appointment and a copy shall be sent to the following except A. National Record Center at the head of Civil Service of the Federation. Then B. Office of the National Bureau of Statistics. Then C. Office of Auditor General for the Federation. D. Office of the Accountant General of the Federation. Then E. National Pension Commission within a month of the appointment. Then question 9. What is recruitment? So A. It is the filling in of vacancies by the appointment of persons not already in any of the public service of the Federation of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and persons seeking for transfer of service from other public service to federal public service. Then B. It is the filling in of advertised vacancies by the appointment of new persons. Then C. It is the filling in of vacancies by the appointment of persons not already in any public service of the Federation, excluding persons seeking for transfer of service from another public service to the federal public service. Please click the subscribe button so you don't miss the next one. Then D, it is the filling in of vacancy by appointment of person within the minimum required for qualification into the public service of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So the answers for question 8 is B, Office of the National Bureau of Statistics. So other ones are applicable except that. And for question 9, the answer is C. It is the filling in of vacancies by the appointment of persons not already in any public service of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, excluding persons seeking for transfer of service from one public service to another. So recruitment excludes that. Then question 10, which of the following is or are not types of appointment to the federal public service? So A, appointment as a trainee. B, appointment as on sympathy ground. Then appointment, the acting appointment. Then we have appointment on probation in a pensionable post. Then appointment on non-pensionable post. Then appointment by godfatherism. Then appointment to established post. So which is not type of appointment. Then 8, special appointment. Then 9, appointment on a pupil as a pupil, appointment as a pupil. Then option A says all except VI and VIR. So all except 2, 6, and 7. Then B, all except 9. C, all except 7. D, all except 2, 6, and 9. Then question 11, dash is an example of special appointment and states true or false. It is subject to vacancy. So there are 2 questions here. So dash is a special type of appointment, special appointment. Then you now say whether it is by a subject to vacancy or not. So you state true or false. So the options, we have A, Presidential Merit Award to a National Youth Corps member. Then bracket true. Then B, Presidential Award to a serving officer who performed exceptionally well in the discharge of his duty. Then second answer false. Then C, appointment to special duties. Second answer false. So there are 2 answers you have to give here. So D, Presidential Merit Award to a National Corps member. Then second answer false. Question 12. Appointments made for a prescribed period of time in the following categories: contract appointment, sabbatical appointment, career exchange program, talent sourcing strategy, internship, and volunteerism in the Federal Civil Service is called A, expatriate appointment. B, pensionable appointment. C, on-the-spot appointment. D, short-term appointment. So I hope you are dropping your answer. So now the answer for A, for 10 is A. 10 is A. All except 2, 6, and 7. All except 2, 6, and 7. So they are all types of appointment except 2. And 2 says appointment on sympathy ground. We don't have anything like that. Then question 6 says appointment by godfatherism. No. And question 7 says, the option 7 says appointment to established post. So that is the answer. Then for question 11, the answer is D. The D, that is Presidential Merit Award to a National Youth Service member. That is an example of special appointment. Then the second question on that says, is it true or false that it is subject to vacancy? False. It is not subject to vacancy. Then question 13. Mr. Mike is seeking for a pensionable appointment into the Federal Public Service. As an officer in charge of appointment, why will you not grant Mike an appointment despite the fact that he possesses the requisite academic qualification for the post? So why will you not give him appointment when he possesses the academic qualification? So options: I will not grant Mike an appointment because he is A, disabled, because he's not above 50 years and not less than 18 years, because he is less than 50 years and not up to 18 years. So these are conditions for appointment you look at. Then he is not certified medically fit by an authorized healthcare provider. Then he is computer proficiency and possesses the minimum qualification. Remember, the question is why you will not give him the appointment. Then 6 says because he has gotten approval from the Federal Civil Service Commission or board or council of a parastatal if he had previously been dismissed from service or called upon to resign or been convicted of a criminal offense. So he has gotten approval. Then options: A, all of the above. Do all of them satisfy why you should not give him the appointment? Then B, all of them except option 2. Then C, then is option 3 and 4 only. Then D, option 1 and 4 only. Drop your answers at the comment section. Then question 14. Every person seeking for appointment to the Federal Civil Service must state the following. So I, whether he or she is free from financial embarrassment. Then I, whether he or she has been convicted of any criminal offense. Then 3, reason for leaving any previous employment. Then 4, whether he is under an obligation to remain in any employment he is currently into. Then 5, all employments he had been previously or currently engaged in. So he has to state that. Then you have A, that should be A, not B, all of the above. B, option 4 and 5 only. Then next one is all except 2. So this is C. Then D says 2 and 4 only. So please, this is the first one is A, that is all of the above. Then second one is B, 2, 4 and 5 only. Then third one is C, this is C, all except 2. Then this is D, 3 and 4 and 5 only. So drop your answers and confirm. So for question 13, the answer is C. The answer is C for question 13. So what does C say? C says 3 and 4 only. So Mr. Mike, you will not give him appointment because 3 says he is less than 50. Yes, he's less than 50, which is qualifies him, and not up to 18 years. So, but he's less than 18 years. So when he's not up to 18 years, you cannot give somebody that is not up to 18 years an appointment. So why the second one, number 14, says A. Number 14 says all of, so this is A, all of the above. So the person seeking for appointment to the Public Service Rule must state all of this about himself. So question 15. Membership of the Junior Staff Committee and Senior Staff Committee in parastatal shall include A, an observer from the Federal Civil Service Commission and representative of the Human Resource Management of the Supervising Ministry. B, directors from the Supervising Ministry and including Director Human Resource Management. Then C, sorry, this should be C, the numbers. So representative of Human Resource Management of the Supervising Ministry and an observer from Office of the Head of the Civil Service of the Federation. Then D, this should be D, an observer from Head of Civil Service of the Federation and a representative from Federal Civil Service Commission. So this is A, B, C, and D. So members of the Junior Staff and Senior Staff Committee in parastatal. Then question 16, state the conditions for transfer from one senior post or class to another within the Federal Public Service. So the condition for transfer from one senior post or class to another within the Federal Civil Service, what are the conditions? A, officer must have served at least 6 months in the original post. So officer must possess the minimum qualifications for the post desired for. Then officer must possess testimonial of good conduct from his original post. Then officer must state reason for desiring a transfer. So these are the conditions for transfer of service. So your answer to question 5 is A. Is A, the first one. So membership of the Junior Staff Committee shall comprise an observer from the Federal Civil Service Commission and a representative of the Human Resource Management of the Supervising Ministry. So you have Human Resource Management and an observer from Office of the Head of Civil Service or the Federation. Sorry. So this is A. This is A. Representative of Human Resource Management of the Supervising Ministry and an observer from the Office of the Head of Civil Service of the Federation. So this is A. Sorry, they were not numbered. So the membership of Junior Staff Committee and Senior Staff Committee persons shall include a representative of the Human Resource Management of the Supervising Ministry and an observer from Office of the Head of Civil Service of the Federation. So that is the answer to question 15. So thank you. This is the end of the first phase of appointment. So in the next second video, we shall be concluding appointment. Because the video was becoming lengthy, I had to short it so it doesn't look so bored. So we shall take the second stage of appointment and basically deal on the short-term appointment, which we listed earlier, the short-term appointment. With that, we now round up appointment and proceed to the next topic. Thank you. Please hit the subscribe button, like and share. That is the only way you can assist us for this work. It's not costing you anything. We are not charging you anything. But our aim is that you pass your promotion exam. Thank you, and God bless.